G'day guys, we are at the Innisfail show. So the show is like a country fair, I suppose. It travels around from country town to country town, and there's fun fair and they have fireworks at night and bands playing, but in the daytime, which is when we tend to come, get to look around all the ag stuff, and there's livestock, cows and pigs, and they do all sorts of competitions, so you can enter your prize rooster or your best marmalade jam. And Ian is in his element right now. So come to look at all the tractors.
They're not bad. We've got one.
Yeah? Because there's two in this size engine, isn't there?
So we've got the basic, the stock standard basic version, no frills.
Today, I'm having a day off the farm. Angela is letting me go into town, into the city.
Yeah.
It's like a city for me.
We are going to the Tully show. So you would have seen our footage from the Innisfail show. We didn't really get a lot there, so we're hoping to get some more today at the Tully show. Tully's a lot closer to us, so only 10-15 minutes into the city. So
when we say city, there's like one main street.
there's one set of traffic lights.
Oh yes, there is traffic lights.
And a couple of roundabouts. Anyway, so Ian will probably want to look at more tractors, more toys.
See what else is down here.
Look at the animals and all the competition entries and whatever else is there.
Yeah, people take their chickens and their not rabbits, because rabbits aren't allowed, but
No, there's dog shows.
Dog shows, chickens, ducks,
produce,
marmalade.
who's got the best bananas.
You haven't made any marmalade for ages, and I've only got about that much marmalade left. I need marmalade.
So there are the mountains. Mount Tyson is over there.
Hang on, it's more to the left.
Mount Tyson?
Yeah.
Maybe through here. That might be better. That's better. So in the distance there, you can see this, what we call the stacks, and that's the Tully Mill. So this is sugarcane country, as you can see. Just going past now, that's all sugarcane, and they're into the harvesting time now. So they've started harvesting all the cane. So we got a lot of cane farms around us. And yeah, over in the distance there, where you can see the smoke, it's not smoke, they tell us, it's steam, is the Tully Mill, where they process all the cane. And behind that is Mount Tyson. I have walked up Mount Tyson.
I haven't.
With Mum. G'day, Mum.
I'm not stupid.
Ian passed on walking up Mount Tyson. We're back in the tractors again. It didn't take long. We've only been at the show for about 10 minutes and Ian's already been able to find the tractors.
Too big.
It's too big. Is there such a thing as too big a tractor?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely too big.
It probably is too big for our orchard rows. We need a small orchard tractor. But anyway, pretty cool to look at.
Yeah.
Gosh, these dogs are going to have to live up to the show, mate. If you're getting this, what's the dog going to get? They get a championship.
Yeah, this one's active, though.
Jungle carpet python. Oh, hello. Not too pretty. These bearded dragons. Look at the bearded dragons.
Okay, good luck for the rest of the day.
Oh, they're so cute.
No, all of pythons. All of these are pythons. All of these are non-venomous. None of these are venomous.
See, if I saw that, the 22 would be out in the head. If I saw that in my house. So I think it was a brown snake.
Carpet python.
Get them in this area anyway, all of pythons.
Beginning this presentation for the reserve.
See, I always say, oh, no,
Check out him, he's huge.
It's possible.
might be what I'm seeing.
Olive python.
And your name is?
That's probably 3 metres
Ainsley Dubbin.
Can't even see his
And you're
head.
from Cairns.
down here.
Oh, down there.
What's your pony's name, mate?
Has he got scales? He's got
Okay, you've done good to get the reserve.
Yes, that's what I said. It's not a
Okay.
green tree snake, which is what you'd be used to see. It's a very rare python from a very isolated area of Australia.
Oh,
Okay,
Central
girls, would you
bearded
like to go
dragon.
and do a little bit of a victory lap over in front of the grandstand near the wood chop area, girls? Congratulations, there's our
crocodile.
in the first event.
Come to see the moo cows.
We're going to have a look at the champion and the reserve champion, both in this pen.
Ah, champion and reserve champion. Skydivers just coming down in the background.
Remember that, yeah?
Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36.
So lots of towns in Australia have what's called a big thing. Our big thing is the golden gumboot. And the reason we've got the golden gumboot as our big thing is because we have one of the highest rainfall rates. It's usually a bit of a face-off between us and another town called Babinda, both vie for the highest rainfall.
The year was 1950. And the amount of rain was 7.9 metres worth of rain.
And that's what the gumboot represents.
Yeah, the height of the
height of the gumboot represents the highest rainfall recorded.
So 7.9 metres, 8 metres, that's around 24 feet worth of rain. And that's a white-lipped tree frog.
Yeah. Oh, see if we can go up. So here we can see on the sign just outside of the gumboot that originally a rubber boot was awarded to the wettest town in Australia, according to which had the most rainfall in the past year. Tully, Innisfail and Babinda all vied for the prize. So the boot stands at 7.9 metres, which represents the record annual rainfall of 311 inches in 1950. And you can go up the gumboot through a spiral staircase and look down on the Tully Mill. So in the floods of 1967 and 1973, this gumboot at this location would have been standing in 800 mils of water. And the green tree frog is the largest tree frog on Earth, averaging 110 millimeters long, with some reaching 140. We get those tree frogs at home. A lot, especially in the wet season. We get a lot on the veranda and they are so cool.
And noisy.
Yeah. Right, up we go. So inside the gumboot there's lots of pictures of various flooding times. That's looking up the main street from the showgrounds where we've just come from.
You can't get it.
Yurimo gets a lot of rain, and when we do,
quite flat there,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's Yurimo when we do get floods that the pub becomes stranded, and the only way of getting to the pub is by boat.
Small boat, yeah.
Made it to the top. Ian's just spotted a hairy caterpillar.
8 metres in the air.
And across here is the Tully mill. So all those little carts there contain sugarcane. Unfortunately, there's no little trains to show you guys. But those carts are pulled along by little trains. You can just see one in there. We have a rail siding down at the bottom of our driveway, so we often see the train come along with the carts and the harvesters filling up the carts to come to the mill.
So each one of these, as it goes into the mill, is uncoupled, and it goes onto a big platform that weighs it and then tips it over, and then it goes up the conveyor belt and gets crushed.
And that is Tully town. That's the main street, the one and only main street. And behind there, that is Mount Tyson.
And can you see the hospital where you used to work? Way up there?
Yep, hospital's in the background there. It's a beautiful little town.
When it's sunshiny.
So that is the view from the top of the gumboot. Tully's big thing.
Down here is an impression of how they used to harvest cane by hand. Some carts chopping the cane down by hand. So for anyone interested in where the sugar comes from, these guys are hauling out the sugar cane. Big trucks. And it's long days for these guys. 10-12 hour days. So they go onto the cane siding there, and all these cages have already been put out by the mill. And let's see if I can zoom. So watch the back of the haul out start to lift up, and then there's a conveyor belt that throws it sideways. Sometimes they press the wrong lever and it goes to the left instead of the right. Starting to lift up more, and then you'll hear a rattle and it's starting to shoot out on the right. And then they fill each cage, move on to the next cage, and there'll be one cane harvester with probably, depending on how far they have to travel, I think there's about 3 haul out trucks doing this. To the mill where it's crushed. I think pretty much all of this sugar is exported and is processed abroad.